Lucy didn't just disappear. She became something the human mind can't even understand. And now, there are signs she might be coming back. The story of Lucy begins with a normal woman who gets caught in a dangerous situation. She is forced to carry a powerful drug inside her body. But when the drug leaks into her system, everything changes. Instead of harming her, it unlocks her brain. Slowly at first, then faster and faster, Lucy starts using more of her brain than any human ever has. At 20%, she becomes sharper than any genius. At 50%, she can control her body and feel everything around her. By the time she reaches 100%, she is no longer just human. She can control time, matter, and even reality itself. It feels less like a person and more like a force of nature taking shape. As Lucy's power grows, her emotions begin to fade. This is one of the most important parts of her transformation. She stops feeling fear, pain, and even love in the way normal people do. She starts thinking in a completely different way. Everything becomes logical. Everything becomes clear. While the people around her panic and struggle, Lucy moves calmly, like she already knows the future. It creates a strange feeling for the viewer. You are watching someone evolve, but at the same time, you are slowly losing the human connection with her. She is becoming something else, something bigger. In the final moments of the film, Lucy reaches full brain capacity. This is where things become truly mind-blowing. She doesn't just gain power, she goes beyond physical form. Her body begins to disappear, breaking apart into something unknown. She connects with computers, data, and time itself. It feels like she spreads across everything. Before she is gone, she leaves behind a simple message: I am everywhere. This line is small, but it changes everything. It suggests that Lucy did not die. She evolved into something that exists beyond space and time. This ending creates the biggest question for fans. If Lucy is everywhere, then she still exists. She could be watching, learning, and even controlling things without anyone knowing. This idea opens the door for a sequel in a very interesting way. Instead of bringing back Lucy as a normal human, the story can show her as something much greater. Maybe she is now part of every system, every network, every piece of information in the world. Maybe she is guiding events from behind the scenes. Or maybe she has a new purpose that humans cannot understand yet. The first movie was not just about action. It was about evolution, knowledge, and what happens when there are no limits. That is why people are still talking about Lucy today. The ending did not feel like a goodbye. It felt like the beginning of something much bigger. And that is exactly why the idea of Lucy 2 is so exciting. Because if Lucy has already become everything, then the next chapter is not about becoming powerful. It is about what she decides to do with that power. Everyone thought Lucy's story was finished, but behind the scenes, something interesting has been quietly building for years. After the first film became a huge success, fans immediately started asking one question: will there be a sequel? At first, the answer was unclear. There was no official announcement, no trailer, and no confirmed release date. It felt like Lucy's story might remain a one-time experience. But the silence didn't last forever. Over time, small hints and discussions began to appear, and that's where things started getting exciting. Director Luc Besson, the mind behind Lucy, has spoken in the past about the idea of continuing the story. At one point, he even suggested that the concept of Lucy makes a sequel difficult because her character has already reached the highest level of evolution. Think about it. When someone becomes all-powerful and exists everywhere, how do you continue that story? It's like trying to go beyond infinity. But instead of closing the door completely, these comments actually made fans more curious. Because if anyone could find a way to expand that story, it would be him. As time passed, rumors started spreading online. Some reports claimed that early ideas for Lucy 2 were being explored. Others suggested that the sequel could take a completely different direction, focusing on new characters while Lucy exists in the background like an invisible force. This idea fits perfectly with how the first movie ended. Lucy doesn't need to return in a physical form. She could be watching, guiding, or even testing humanity without being seen. Another big question is the return of Scarlett Johansson. Her performance as Lucy was a major reason the first film became so popular. But if Lucy is no longer human, then her role in the sequel would be very different. Instead of being the main character in a traditional way, she could appear as a voice, a digital presence, or even something beyond human understanding. This creates a new kind of storytelling, where the main character is everywhere but nowhere at the same time. There have also been many fan theories suggesting that Lucy 2 could explore the idea of artificial intelligence and human evolution together. In today's world, where technology is growing fast, this concept feels more real than ever. Imagine a world where Lucy has become part of global systems, influencing technology, knowledge, and even decisions. This would turn the sequel into something bigger than just a movie. It would feel like a reflection of our own future. But here's the reality check. As of now, there is still no fully confirmed official announcement for Lucy 2. No studio has given a final green signal, and no real production has started publicly. This is important to understand because many trailers you see online are actually fan-made. They are created to imagine what the sequel could look like, not what it actually is right now. And yet, the idea refuses to die. The fact that people are still talking about Lucy 2 after so many years shows how powerful the original story was. It planted a question in everyone's mind that still hasn't been answered. What happens when intelligence has no limits? And if Lucy truly is everywhere, then maybe her story isn't waiting to be continued. Maybe it has already continued, just in a way we cannot see yet. This is where things start to feel real, because the Lucy 2 trailer that everyone is talking about hides more secrets than you think. If you've seen the trailer online, the first thing you notice is the tone. It feels darker, more mysterious, almost like the world itself has changed. The bright, fast energy of the first film is replaced with something colder and more controlled. Cities look advanced, but also uneasy, like something invisible is watching every move. And that feeling connects directly to one idea. Lucy is no longer a person you can see. In several scenes, we see technology behaving in strange ways. Screens flicker, systems activate on their own, and data flows faster than normal. This could be a strong hint that Lucy now exists inside digital networks. Remember her final message, "I am everywhere." The trailer seems to take that idea seriously. Instead of showing Lucy walking into a room, it shows her presence through machines, signals, and information. It's like she has become the brain of the entire world. One of the most interesting moments in the trailer is when a new character appears, someone who seems to realize that something is controlling everything. This character is not powerful like Lucy, but they are curious and determined. They begin to notice patterns, strange events that don't make sense. It creates a strong question. Is this person trying to find Lucy or trying to stop her? This adds tension to the story because for the first time, humans might be aware of her existence. There are also quick flashes of scientific labs and experiments. This could suggest that humans are trying to recreate what happened to Lucy. Maybe they want her power. Maybe they are afraid of her and want control over it. Either way, it introduces a dangerous idea. What if more people start gaining abilities like Lucy? The world could quickly fall into chaos. Intelligence without limits sounds powerful, but it can also be terrifying. Another detail that stands out is the way time is shown. Some scenes feel slow, almost frozen, while others move extremely fast. This could be a visual way of showing Lucy's perspective. If she exists beyond time, then she doesn't experience it like normal humans. She could be seeing past, present, and future all at once. This makes her almost impossible to predict and even harder to fight. But here's the twist that changes everything. Most of these trailers are not official. They are fan-made creations, built using clips from other movies, smart editing, and creative ideas. They are designed to feel real, and honestly, they do a very good job. That's why so many people believe they are watching a real Lucy 2 preview. In a way, these trailers show how much fans want the story to continue. Still, even if the trailer is not official, the ideas inside it are powerful. They give us a clear vision of what Lucy 2 could become. A world controlled by invisible intelligence. A new character trying to uncover the truth. And a question that keeps getting bigger. If Lucy is everywhere, is she protecting humanity or slowly taking control of it? Time is the one thing Lucy learned to control, but for fans waiting for Lucy 2, time feels painfully slow. Right now, there is no officially confirmed release date for Lucy 2. No studio announcement, no production schedule, nothing set in stone. And that might sound disappointing at first, but if you look closer, it actually makes sense. A film like Lucy is not a simple action sequel. It deals with big ideas like intelligence, time, and existence itself. Creating a follow-up story that feels just as powerful is not easy. It takes time, planning, and the right vision. Looking at how movies are usually made, once a sequel is officially announced, it often takes at least 2 to 3 years to release. First comes the script, then casting, then filming, and finally editing and visual effects. And for a movie like Lucy 2, the visual effects would be a major part of the experience. Showing a character that exists beyond reality is not something you can rush. It needs to feel believable, even if the idea itself is beyond imagination. There is also another important factor. The film industry has changed a lot in recent years. Studios are more careful now. They don't just make sequels because fans ask for them. They want a strong story, something that can attract a global audience again. The first Lucy movie was a surprise success, and that puts even more pressure on a sequel to be bigger and better. No one wants to release Lucy 2 if it cannot match or beat the impact of the original. If we look at patterns and speculation, many fans believe that if Lucy 2 ever gets officially announced, the release could fall somewhere between late 2026 and even 2027. This is not confirmed, but it is a realistic guess based on how long films usually take to develop. And honestly, waiting might be a good thing. A rushed sequel could ruin the mystery and power that made Lucy special in the first place. Another interesting point is timing with technology. The ideas in Lucy about intelligence and human evolution feel even more relevant today than they did before. With the rise of artificial intelligence and advanced systems, a movie like Lucy 2 could connect deeply with modern audiences. This could be one reason why the creators might be waiting for the right moment, when the story feels more real and more impactful. But until an official announcement is made, everything remains in the world of possibility. The trailers online, the release dates people talk about, the leaks and rumors, none of them are confirmed. It's like standing at the edge of something huge, but not being able to see it clearly yet. And maybe that's exactly what makes it exciting, because Lucy's story was never about limits. It was about what happens when limits disappear. So even though we don't have a release date right now, the idea of Lucy 2 is still alive, still growing, still evolving in the minds of fans. The real question is not just when the movie will release, but whether we are ready for the kind of story it might bring.